got some new $8 Labray jewelry in the mail, and the last time that I ordered some, it was like way too short, so I ordered the next size up, and it's like perfect. It's not so long that I want to play with it, but it's not so short that like the ball's falling off. Also, my little snake gem on this finger, there was a matching one on this finger, and last night I was like, I wonder how easily this will pop off. And I kept pushing it and pushing it. I'm like, it's not popping off. And I pushed it until it fell off because I'm smart like that. But also I am getting a cold sore, like a hormone-driven cold sore on my mouth. And I don't care because I'm a human and I have a human body. But also, I really, really love the like C-shaped bars that I wear in my Labray that like come over my mouth. I love them, but I play with them a lot, and it like causes my mouth to be like sore, you know what I mean? And I click my teeth on them a lot, and that's something that I try not to do because I don't know how I still have teeth in my head, and I'm trying to salvage the ones that I do have. I am an Appalachian, so I have a lot going against me in the teeth department. I have been trying to film for hours, and there has just been like a series of events happening around me that were unavoidable for me to just like put off. They had to happen right now, that have just been getting in my way. So it is almost 4 p.m. and I am just now filming. Here recently, I was uploading in the morning, and then I got hit with a wave of depression, and then it turned into the afternoon, and guess what? I'm gonna have a fucking night upload, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but you know, shit happens, and I don't think that anybody is going to be mad at me. Nobody ever gets mad at me over what time I upload. I really like to blow things up in my brain space and make them way bigger than they are and way bigger than they have to be. That I like to hurt my own fucking feelings, basically, is what I'm saying. There's still like shit going on around me right now that is gonna make it so that I can't sit down and film this all in one go without being interrupted. But I'm gonna go ahead and put on my NYX Bear With Me because sometimes it takes a little while to dry, and by sometimes I mean always. There's always a little like piece of my face that's still fucking damp whenever I'm putting on my foundation, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on and get started. Can you focus on that? Thank you. Also, there's a fly that's driving me fucking nuts, but I can't catch it. First of all, I am aging, slow, chubby, all of that, and I'm not going to use bug spray because the last time that I did, I went like way overboard with it, and I like my lungs, and I like, you know, my animals that are in the room with me right now, my turtle and my dog, to be able to breathe. Yeah, so we're not going to do that. And also, I was going to film this on my phone because it would be much quicker and easier to get it up, especially with filming later in the day, but I decided against it because, well, my audio is tainted with the camera. It's much more tainted with the phone, so I just opted to do this because it sounds better. It doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds better than my phone when I leave the AC and the fan on, because bitch, I'm not fucking turning it off. I'm not fucking turning it off. It's not happening today. Alright, now that I have frantically shoveled in some food and also my shit is dried down, I think I have like a little glimmer of like grease around my mouth. Oh well, shit. I've been trying to find, I have like multiple bottles of foundation, and half of them are like half empty and the other half aren't, and instead of just throwing them away, I just hoard them and get angry. These are glass, so they're heavy, so I can't like gauge like which one is. I think I'm gonna use this one because I'm pretty sure it's not empty. Are you empty? It's not the right shade, but bitch, when have I ever worn the right shade? Also, by the way, I'm using this little cheap brush to put on my foundation because while I was waiting, I was just getting everything out that I'm gonna need, like foundation, concealer, everything like that, and like laying it out around me. And so now I'm fucking buried and I can't get up and wet my beauty sponge. So we're gonna use this little cheap brush, and hopefully the damn bristles don't come out all over my face. And also my nose keeps running. I don't know why. It's been like 2 weeks of just runny ass nose and sneezing. I don't normally have seasonal allergies, and everybody else in my house is behaving the same way, so maybe we're just fucking sick. Why am I still talking? Okay, so let's talk while I paint my face. How bad is this? Maybe my powder and everything will make up for it. It'll be fine. It's okay. It's not that bad. Anyways, I don't feel good at all. I'm very, very, very depressed right now. I am struggling to get out of bed. I am struggling to find a tinge of happiness in life. I am struggling with working. I am struggling with existing. I am sure that you can tell in my videos. I have not been wearing makeup. I have not been putting on, you know, cute outfits or caring at all. I haven't even been putting on fucking eyebrows, which is my biggest signal for, bitch, you don't feel good. I know that it is a combination of hormones, because it just is that time for me. I have fucking PMS like 3 weeks out of the month, but the closer that I get to my period, the worse that it gets. And I think I'm gonna start my period within the next week, but I always have cramps. I always have breast pain, all that shit. I need to look into getting a reproductive endocrinologist to like get my shit looked at better than my other 2 doctors have. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my doctors, I do, and they're, you know, doctors that I won't go to, like I don't want to lose them as doctors. I don't want to drop them as doctors, because I feel like they both have done everything that they can within their, you know, area of expertise. But I think I need a reproductive endocrinologist to like help me figure out exactly what's going on with my body. I need a third opinion, basically, is what I'm saying. I need a fucking third opinion, because I don't feel good and I feel like I'm not getting any answers. And my my psychiatrist agrees. And the thing is, I have been his patient for so long. I have been his patient for like 8 years. And he knows me better than my other doctors do, inside and out. You know, he knows psychologically what's going on with me. He knows health-wise, he has to know everything that's going on with me. Every time I visit him, I have to update him on like any health issues that I'm having. Like, he knows the ins and outs of everything. And he has for years. And he doesn't agree with my gynecologist or my GP on what's going on with my hormones. He doesn't agree with them at all. So it's time for me to seek out a reproductive endocrinologist, which I do believe somebody suggested that in my comments not that long ago. And yeah, I need to reach out to my insurance and find out like if there's any in my network, and if there's not, I'm just gonna have to suck it the fuck up and somehow, some way pay for one, because I can't do this anymore. It's making it so that I can't handle other things in my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's making it hard for me to handle other things going on in my life. I think something that a lot of people don't understand, this is what I'm using. Hello? Can you pick that up, please? It's the Maybelline Magic Eraser shit. I don't even think it has the word magic in it. It's the Maybelline Eraser. Why did I say magic? Oh, I was thinking of the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. You know what? I'm not refilming it. I'm leaving it in. But anyways, I think something that a lot of people don't understand is when you're chronically mentally ill, you don't have to have a reason to be sad. You don't have to have a reason to have an onset of just more severe depression than you normally deal with. Nothing has to happen in order for that to be a thing. Like, when I say that I don't feel well, I feel like a lot of people automatically go to, oh my God, is your marriage okay? Like, did something happen? Nothing has to happen. for my brain to just be like, you know what? I think I'm going to be a little bit sadder than normal. I think I'm going to refuse to get out of bed today. I think I'm going to make it hard for you to function. Nothing has to happen in order for that to happen when you're chronically mentally ill. Though things happening sure as shit does not help with that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had so many people reach out to me and be like, girl, I think you need to take a break from YouTube, because as much as you are telling yourself that you're fine, it's going to catch up to you. I don't grieve very well. I'm not very good at grief. You know, I lost my mind 13 years ago when my sons died, and it never came back. It wandered away, and bitch, it never came back. You would think that I would be better at grief than what I am, but grief has the ability to fucking wreck and ruin my life. And it does on a day-to-day basis. It does every single day. It wrecks my life every single day. It gives me nightmares. It makes it hard for me to go into public. It makes me angry and burst out crying for no reason. PTSD, basically. Well, yeah, I have CPTSD, but I don't know how to grieve. And it's really bad. It's to the point that it's like really, really, really fucking bad. So this is what I'm using on my brows. I don't know if you can see it, read it, whatever. It's the LA Girl Brow Pomade. I'm gonna try a new brush. A little cheap brush on, which all my brushes are fucking cheap, bitch. Be for real. Don't sit here and act like, yeah, I use these like really good brushes, but today we're gonna try a cheap. They're all cheap. Okay, like most of my fucking brushes are like little cheap brushes from like Amazon that I paid like $5 for a $20 set, and half of them don't make it a month. But you know, the most expensive brushes that I have are like Real Technique brushes, or like brushes that I got. There's a fuzzy. Sorry. Or brushes that I got in my BoxyCharm like years ago that are holding on for dear life. Like, those are the most expensive brushes that I have. But anyways, I lost a friend a couple of years ago. She OD'd, and she was 9 months pregnant, and she obviously lost her baby, lost his life as well in that moment, and I have never processed it. Not once in my life have I processed that grief. In fact, I did not realize how bad it was until my therapist and I were talking about just how I've had a lot of loss in my life, and it's predominantly because I live in an area that has an issue with addiction, and also because I have a history of, my family has a history of unaliving themselves, and I just started bursting out crying. I literally just lost my shit in front of her, and she looks at me and she's like, I don't think that you've processed this. And I looked at her and I was like, and you know what? I don't want to talk about it, so I'm not gonna. It's not gonna happen. So I have been handling my friend deciding to drop off the face of the earth and, you know, retreat to the woods, which is his right, by just simply not handling it. Yeah, why can I never do this eyebrow? Like, even before I got my eyebrow pierced, this eyebrow never wants to work with me. Oh my God, I'm gonna have, I cannot do it. I think it's because I have like a mole right here. It's really small. And then I have the added fact that I have an eyebrow ring, but I've never been able to do this eyebrow the way that I do this eyebrow, ever in my life. I've never had symmetrical, big words, symmetrical eyebrows. Even whenever I was younger and I was drawing them on, this one's always fucking jacked by comparison. It always looks awful by comparison. Ignore it. We're gonna ignore that. There's something there. There's something there. There's something down. That's all that fucking matters. I've been having trouble sleeping, but yet that's all that I want to do. I wake up a lot, like, super motivated to work and to do things, to film and all of that stuff. And then it's like no amount of caffeine is waking me up. No amount of sleep is waking me up. I am depressed, and that's all that there is to it. And I don't know if it's like a combination of hormones, a combination of grief, or just that I am just somebody that is chronically mentally ill, and that is just part of my existence. But it is, nothing is bringing me happiness. Nothing is bringing me joy. I played Stardew for the first time the other day in a really long time, and you guys know me. You guys know that I love that game. I can literally get lost in it for hours. I haven't played The Sims in a while. I haven't touched my computer, but to try to force myself to just do something that I know makes me really happy. I've been struggling with doing my makeup. You guys know that I love makeup. It's one thing that I have been passionate about my entire life. And for me to have moments where I'm so depressed that I don't wear makeup and I don't do this and I don't do that, it's pretty normal for me. But the thing that I'm struggling with the most is like, I have to remind myself to just do things that are basic hygiene. Like this, I'm using the Redacted palette. Don't look at it. I got it on sale for like $5 a couple of years ago. It's just the Redacted palette. That's what we'll call it, the Redacted palette. But anyways, I struggle with reminding myself to just do basic hygiene. I took a shower this morning. I told myself, you are going to take a shower. You are going to get up and you are going to wash your fucking ass, and you're going to wash your hair, and you're going to brush your teeth, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And that's like, if you don't do anything else for yourself today, I want you to do that, because nobody on YouTube is going to get angry at you if you struggle to upload today. Nobody on YouTube is going to get pissed off at you about that. I actually get a lot of messages from people like, the amount of content that you upload is insane, and I really hope that you don't burn out. But I'm going to do like a purple and black look. I was actually going to use that little palette that Chloe sent me, but I left it over there and I am buried. So I'm going to have to do a little darker purple than I wanted to, but whatever. I'm acting like I'm not upset about it, but I literally can't get up. Yeah, I am having to remind myself, brush your teeth, you know, care. Change your clothes. Brush your teeth. Change your clothes. Get in the shower. Make sure that the kids have what, and that's another thing. That's another thing. I just filmed myself doing my eye makeup, but I don't like the way that I worded what I was saying. So I'm going to reword what I said. I tend to have this tendency, for lack of a better way to put it, to think that if my children are taken care of, then everything's all right. Everything will be fine. And the problem with that is, while it's true that as long as my kids have what they need, they're fed, they're clean, they're happy, that everything is right in my world, that to an extent is true. Because the problem with that sentiment is that eventually, you know, neglecting yourself does catch up to you, and it starts to bog you down to the point that you cannot be the best parent that you possibly can be. You know what I mean? Like, eventually you cannot be 100%, you know, to your ability of parenting, unless you take care of yourself as well. Like, yeah, you can do it for a while, but eventually you will run out of steam. And what that means for everybody is different. For some people, taking care of themselves means getting up, taking a shower, putting their hair in a bun, brushing their teeth, and putting on clean clothes, putting on a clean pair of yoga pants and a t-shirt. And that's enough for them, and that is them doing them. You know what I mean? Like, that is enough for them. That is their everyday thing. And for some people, they need to get up, They need to put on eyeliner. They need to do this. They need to do that. That is when they feel their best. And if you can't do that for yourself, and that's not something that, you know, most people can do for themselves every single fucking day, especially when you have people that rely on you. When you can't do that for yourself at all for an extended period of time, and it is not because of anything but you not feeling good mentally, which also physically makes you feel like shit, it does bog you down. And it does make you feel like you're not doing everything to the best of your ability. The other things in your life, not only your children, but your pets, your relationship, your job starts to suffer because of this. It's like a fucking domino effect. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? The point in what I'm saying, I'm using my little $3 e.l.f. eyeliner. The point in what I'm saying is that actually I kind of wanted to try something. I'm going to use this black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna try to like build a big floofy wing. Anyways, the point in what I'm saying is thinking that that everything's all right because the kids are all right can only be true. That statement can only be true for so long. It can only be true for so long. Does that make sense? Is what I'm saying make sense? Because I feel like I'm just rambling and talking myself in circles at this point. I just did all that purple eyeshadow to go back over it with black because I just wanted the outside to have like a little tint of purple. And I forgot what I was doing because I was running my mouth while I was doing it. Yeah, there's like this perfect purple shade in the palette that Chloe sent me. This one's darker than I wanted it to be, but I think it'll still be pretty. Even if it's hard words for me. Even if it's a lot darker than I wanted it to be. I wanted it like a soft, like pastel purple. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, so I'm going to take a little angled brush and kind of try to build me a floofy wing. It's not going to be, I want it to be floofy. You know what I mean? But anyways, I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm very proactive in, like, my mental health. You know what I mean? Like, I take care of shit because I will not lie to you guys. The reason that I am like that, the reason that I worry so much about my mental health, the reason that I worry so much about my health in general is because I don't want to be my mother. I have kids. My motivation behind staying on top of my mental health is 110% because I have children. If I didn't have kids, I'd probably be fucking feral. Let's be fucking for real here. I'd probably be fucking feral, but I don't want to be my mom. That's my main motivation, is that I do not want to be my mother. And I owe it to my children who did not ask to be born to a mother that has schizoaffective disorder and PTSD and all that shit. I owe it to my children to stay on top of my mental health. I do. And yeah, they don't owe me anything and I owe them everything, and that I am firm on that. I have to stay on top of my shit. I have an appointment with my therapist and my psychiatrist coming up, which it's not like an emergency appointment or anything like that. It's just it's an appointment that I've had scheduled for a while. But I don't know. And the thing is, my psychiatrist is kind of at this standstill with my medication because he has told me there's only so much that I can do medication wise if your hormones are fighting us on it. You know what I mean? There's only so much that we can do with your medication if your hormones are just canceling out everything that we're doing. So I think that it's insanely important for me to find a reproductive endocrinologist who can do more in-depth testing, and that's their area of expertise. That's all that they do. You know, and get a third opinion. And yeah, I don't know. That's just the only thing that I can think to do. I just don't want to feel like a waste of space, and I don't want to feel like a waste of life. And I sit down, one thing that I absolutely love to do is just spiral. I love to sit down and think about things and get super deep with things that are not deep at all. And I'm like, bitch, the chances of you being born were like 1 in a trillion. Like, the conditions for your mother to get pregnant with you had to be absolutely perfect. And you're here. Now what are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? And then I think about things like the fact that we're all gonna die one day, and we're all, I actually think about this a lot, and it's why I make YouTube videos, and I don't care. I've had a lot of people be like, I wish that I could make YouTube videos. I'm not brave enough. We're all gonna die. None of us are getting off this planet alive. You may as well do what you want. You may as well do what you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you may as well do what you want. That's pretty much my approach to online content creation, is like, I don't give a shit, because we're all gonna die, and eventually we're all gonna be forgotten, and every person that ever knew us is gonna die, and they're all gonna be forgotten. And that's just the way that it is. That's why I don't care to create content online, because none of us are making it out alive, and it's never that deep, and it's never that serious. But I do sometimes spiral and think about the fact that the chances of me existing were very, very, very low. And yet here I am. Now what am I doing with it? Rotting in my bed. And I don't want to. And then I get met with guilt. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I wake up a lot, like in the morning, like super motivated. And then like an hour or so after I wake up, I'm like, I just fucking want to go back to bed. I just want to go back to sleep. What am I doing? You know what I mean? It's like I feel this like a natural pull to my bed. That's all I want to do. I just want to lay down. I just feel like if I just lay down for a little bit, maybe I'll feel better. And I never do. It never makes me feel better. It always makes me feel worse, but I can't stop myself. You know what I mean? I can't stop myself. I have been struggling a lot recently too with wanting to drink. Just wanting to like get drunk, or perhaps just have like a glass of wine. I am struggling intensely with it, and reminding myself that I don't want to deal with that. That I do not want to be the person that I was years ago. In fact, I wanted to make like a video, or like potentially a series of videos, because it would be a very, very long conversation. Just talking about reasons why I had to get like away from the people that I used to be friends with. And that would include, but is not limited to, things like them being addicted to alcohol, using me for money, and things of that nature. I thought about making it, but it would be so fucking long. If I did, it would have to be broken up into like parts. But I am struggling with wanting to drink with it. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to be hungover. I don't want to have to hide it. That is addict behavior. Hiding that you're drinking is addict behavior. And I have seen the way that substances have not only taken the lives of the people around me, but have just made people behave ways that they wouldn't behave were they not under the influence. And I'm like, I am one of those people. When I drink hard alcohol, I become mean. I'm a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. And I am one of those people that I think, if you become mean when you drink, if you become violent when you drink, you shouldn't drink. You shouldn't drink. You shouldn't, you know, be one of those people that people brace themselves for when it comes to alcohol. And it's really funny to me, because I know when I was younger, I was like fun when I drank. And then the older that I have gotten, the angrier I have gotten when I drink. And that was me. Whenever I, like 5 years ago, I would go out to bars and get absolutely smashed and just pick fights with people. Mostly men. Yeah, I'll admit that. When I tell you guys that I was a bitch when I was drinking, that's what I mean. Like, I became, like, I would pick fights with people in public. And that's not who I want to be. That's not the person that I want to be anymore. And that I remind myself of that. I'm like, if you don't want to stay away from alcohol because of fear of like physical repercussions like hangovers and stuff like that, stay away from it so you don't make a fucking ass of yourself, so that you just don't do that. Like, just don't make a fucking ass of yourself. Editing me here to add, bitch, just because your liver isn't on the verge of exploding anymore because you lost weight and stopped drinking doesn't mean that you should go back to it being on the verge of exploding. Don't fucking drink. I feel like a lot of people act like, you know, sobriety is sunshine and rainbows and everything's wonderful and perfect and grand, and you have this like new outlook on life and all this shit, but it's like, it's one of the loneliest things I've ever done other than grieve. And the thing with grief that is exactly like sobriety is that you feel very alone, and you don't really realize that there's so many people around you that are going through the same thing, that feel exactly like you do, but it's lonely as hell. Especially in an area like this where we are in the middle of, you know, a heroin and a meth epidemic. I'm at this really awkward age, being in my early 30s, that everybody my age is like desperately clinging to youth. Or they're like me, where they're like married and settled down and have kids and all of that. And I used to be in this group of friends that was just full of people that were in their 30s that wanted to act like they were 19 still. And for me personally, I don't like that. I don't relate to that at all. They would get very, very annoyed. They had no obligations but themselves, and they would get very, very angry at me because I had obligations other than myself. They would get pissed off at me over it. And I think at that big age, it is perfectly acceptable for you to have children and be settled down and all that shit. You know what I mean? But it's hard to make friends with people that are sober. And I am a long distance friend. I am somebody, I'm waiting for my lashes to dry, by the way. I am somebody that is a long distance friend. You're not always going to get a text back from me. We're not always going to do something, you know, every other day, every weekend, whatever. Like, I am somebody that has to be a friend from a distance. And that is something about me, like, you just have to accept. And a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people, one time I was friends with this girl for a while, and she was a great friend, and then she fell into drugs, just like a lot of people around where I live. But she texted me one night, just absolutely losing it on me, and she was like, I don't know what I did to you, but blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what, I can't deal with this. Like, I get it. It's hard when somebody is, you know, mentally ill, and their mental illness tells them that you don't like them because you didn't text them back. And you're equally mentally ill, and your mental illness makes it hard for you to text people back. Like, it's those two things, they don't jive well together, you know what I mean? But I also am the type of person that's like, oh my god, they left me on red, they must hate me. But then at the same time, I'm constantly leaving people on red. Existing is really fucking fun. I have had a lot of people tell me to like maybe take a break, or maybe like, you know, let up on my upload schedule and stuff like that to like ease the stress or whatever of making YouTube videos. But the problem with that is, if I were not sitting here making this video right now, I would be laying in bed rotting. I would not be up right now. I would be laying down looking for something to watch on YouTube and thinking about how I wish I could get up and film something. You know what I mean? I have told you guys so many times that YouTube prevents me from just mentally rotting. You know what I mean? It really does. It really does keep me, it gives me something to get out of bed for. That's for me. It's not for my kids. It's not for my husband. It's not for my animals or anybody else around me. It is, I am out of bed, sitting up in front of my camera, my beautiful camera that Pat bought me, And I am filming this for me. I am filming this because I want to. And if I wasn't filming this, my ass would be laying down. It got me out of bed. And that's why I struggle with taking a break. Because if I took a break, what would I do? What would I do for me? You know, it's I get where everybody's coming from, and I get why everybody is worried about me. Because I'm not grieving well. I don't know how to grieve. I suck at it. Okay, I've never been good at it. But that's me in and outside of YouTube. That has been me my entire life. You know, that is me. Look at that. Look what I just did. Good job. I think it's lipstick. Yeah, that is just my existence. Anyways, I gotta put this fucking lip liner on. Because I have a fucking cold sore, I'm using this like cheap brush, of course, because I am, to put on my thing instead of using my eyeliner and like putting that near my eye. We're thinking today. We're thinking. My AC is like vibrating, humming, doing something weird that I'm really hoping is not going to sound awful. But if it does, I don't know how to fix it. Also, I just had to change my camera battery, so if the angle's different, that's why. Anyways, what I'm just trying to get at is that I'm sad. I'm sad. And I think it's really important for people to remember that everything in your life could be great. My kids are great. My husband's great. I am going to therapy. I am seeing a psychiatrist. I am taking medicine. And yet my brain still refuses to be happy. You can do everything right and still not feel good. You can do everything that you can and still not feel good. And being sad is not a choice. A lot of times being happy is not a choice. It's not so easy as just waking up and fucking smiling. It's not. And I really am hoping, I really am thinking and hoping that getting to a reproductive endocrinologist can help me, but I don't think it's going to cure everything. I still will have schizoaffective disorder. You know, I'm still going to have the other issues that I have. I'm still going to have PTSD and all that. But I think that it'll cushion the blow of everything. For some reason, hormones agitate a lot of disorders, especially psychotic disorders. But I need people to know, and I need people to remember that you can do everything right, and you can still be sad. You can still be angry. You can still be upset. You can still be all of that. And it is incredibly frustrating and discouraging to do that. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. The people around me become very disheartened when I start a new medication and it works really great at first and then it stops working. And it's like, I understand that you're upset by that, but I feel like I'm a failure when I try something different, or we switch something, and then at first it's wonderful and it's great and everything's great and perfect and grand, and then all of a sudden my brain's like, I don't give a shit about that. That's very common. It's very common, and I feel like it's never talked about. Like, when you do everything in your power to feel better and your brain just simply says, fuck you, you know? It's if you are watching somebody go through this and you're frustrated with it, I need you to remember that they are more frustrated than you could ever be. Yeah, I'm just sad, and I'm gonna get through it because this is a vicious fucking cycle with me. I just go through these stages of extreme highs and lows, and that is, my schizoaffective disorder is bipolar type, meaning that I have extreme highs and extreme lows and episodes of mania. I actually have a diagnosis of bipolar as well, and because of my schizoaffective bipolar type, I don't acknowledge it. I also have a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder that I've never acknowledged either. My doctor told me that I had it like 5 years ago, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like I didn't want to have it, so I said no. I said no, and it's something that I've never acknowledged, and I'm one of those people that it's just like, people kind of look at you like, why the hell do you have so many diagnoses? And it's like, one goes hand in hand with another. Like, it just is what it is, and I'm doing what I can. I am taking my mood stabilizers, my antipsychotics, my antidepressants, all of that, and I am going to therapy, and I am seeing a psychiatrist, and I am talking to my regular doctor. I'm supposed to see him on the 18th, and then I'm going to seek out a reproductive endocrinologist. I need to find one within my network that I can see, because I am fucking done. I am done. I am done. I know that they will not be able to 100% solve my issues, but I know that they can help. And at this point, if I feel 25% better, my fucking God, I'll take it. My God, I'll fucking take it. But I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but it is getting later, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Maybe, I feel like I have enough time in the day to start tomorrow's vlog, which is what I like to do. That's how I'm most comfortable. Recently, that's how I've been staying ahead. Like, this is real time. I'm uploading this on a Tuesday, and I am filming it on a Tuesday, and here recently my vlogs have been like half a day, upload, half a day, upload. You know what I mean? It's like half of the day before, half of the current day. And that's how I like to do it. I like to stay a day ahead, a day and a half, or a half a day ahead, I should say. A half a day ahead. That's how I'm most comfortable. So maybe I'll be able to get a little bit of vlogging done today, and then get a little bit of vlogging done tomorrow, and I can get back on that schedule, because that's how I like to do it. That's how I'm most comfortable. But I will see you guys then. Goodbye. Don't mind my missing gem. That's so embarrassing. Like, why am I so fucking stupid sometimes?